you smell what The Rock is cooking? The Rock says, The Rock says, The Rock says, The Rock.
I hear voices in my head, they counsel me, they understand, they talk to me. You got your rules in your religion, all designed to keep you safe. But when rules start getting broken, you start questioning your faith. I have a voice that is my savior, hates to love and loves to hate. I have a voice that has the knowledge and the power to your fate. I hear voices crying, I see heroes dying, I taste blood that's drying, I feel tension rising.
Hello and welcome to the WWE Wrestling Talk Show with Lisa Rock Jones and
Sean, Randy Smith. Now I bet you're all thinking, hang on a minute, isn't one of you supposed to be away right now?
well, we never said that we would be now everything was so, but we are here in any event to do part 1 of SummerSlam Weekend, which would be NXT Takeover 30, which was supposed to be NXT Takeover Boston from the
TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts, but due to a certain pandemic called COVID-19, unfortunately, it was moved, should I say, to the Full Sail University.
Yes, where NXT operates its most of its dealings.
So we will start off with the pre-show match.
Yes, NXT TakeOver had 6 matches in total. One took place on the pre-show, and this was a triple threat tag team match to determine the number 1 contenders for the NXT Tag Team Championships.
Yes, Breezango took on Ollie Lorcan and Danny Burch, and took on Aguero del Fantasma of Walking Wild and Raul Mendoza. Go on to face Imperium for the NXT Tag Team titles.
Here, I automatically ruled out Fantasma because it's very rare that you do a heel versus heel match and Imperium are heels.
Yes, very difficult.
Considering that since they came back, they've been on a little bit of an impressive streak.
They have been.
The favourites to this match, and the team which have been together the most, were Breezango, and they would win this match. And not only that, at the time of this recording, on last night's episode of NXT, they would defeat Imperium to become the NXT Tag Team Champions.
The first time in their career as a team.
Not just as a team, it's their first taste of gold in WWE period, and they've been there for the better part of 10 years.
Feels like 10 years, maybe feels like more. But now we move on to the main match card.
The main card opened up with Finn Balor taking on Timothy Thatcher.
In what was essentially a match made up from last week's NXT.
Yes, when Thatcher cost Balor a chance to compete in the North American Championship ladder match, which we shall get to literally next.
Yeah, literally just on the doorstep.
This was a back and forth match.
It was.
But in the end, it came down to a coup de grace and a 1916
For the 1, 2, 3.
for Finn Balor to pick up a victory.
Over Timothy Thatcher, the submission specialist.
Now, as we said, the next match was the ladder match for the vacated North American Championship, which had been vacated by the NXT champion Keith Lee after becoming a dual champion. This match consisted of the controversial, at the minute, Velveteen Dream,
3 reasons we will not go into.
Johnny Gargano, Cameron Grimes,
Bronson Reed.
and Damian Priest. Now, Mrs. Gargano, also known as Candice LeRae,
The Poison Pixie.
tried to interfere quite a bit in this match.
Yep, she literally did.
And after stopping Lee from grabbing the title, would ultimately pay for it by literally being splashed on top of Gargano.
Literally.
But considering the close matches which has been happening over the past few takeovers with Priest and Lee, and it's not a real surprise to see that Damian Priest is the NXT North American Champion.
Yes, he is. So massive congratulations goes to Damian Priest.
Next is a grudge match type scenario with Pat McCarthy
Taking on Adam Cole, baby.
we all know the storyline behind this, and things started off a bit tense here, with McCarthy diving outside and taking out the rest of the Undisputed Era, along with his own
Entourage.
Yes. Then WWE officials and security. Of course, the Undisputed Era, the rest of the Undisputed Era, and the teammates had to eventually get out of there.
Eventually.
Which would leave the two of them at it, and I've got to say, for someone who is not a trained professional wrestler, he knew what he was doing in Pat McCarthy.
Did. Proving us wrong if you listen to our pre-show,
Well,
because
we didn't.
he was going to be murdered.
Well, technically, I'm not going to say that, but
Yeah.
yes, after a while, I mean, there were times where Adam Cole would steal a move from Ric Flair in the figure four leg lock and would attempt it, but McCarthy was able to stop it from being put on several times and was able to escape it as well. McCarthy then took a move out of Mr. Orton's playbook and hit Cole with a punt like he did on NXT a few weeks ago
Yes.
for a near fall. Pat McCarthy, he countered a suplex. We do not mean Brock Lesnar style suplex throw.
No, we don't. We're not going to Suplex City.
Flipping out of it and landing on his feet. But in the end, Cole would manage to hit the Panama Sunrise and get the 1-2-3 victory. And here it was, after the match, it was almost a show of respect between the two. Almost.
Yeah, you can call it that.
And this kind of goes against WWE's past decisions of putting over non-wrestling people in these kind of matches.
Like you said, it does make the change. But now we go on to a match for the NXT Women's Championship.
In her first title defense since winning the championship at Takeover in Your House, Io Shirai was defending against Dakota Kai, who was being accompanied by
Raquel Gonzalez,
who suddenly decided to show back up.
Yes.
And these two, what do I say about this? This match is what we expect. Dakota Kai started off strong with several kicks.
Yes, very strong.
And Marius is when we would have Shirai performing with her patented moonsaults and stuff. Because there were referee bumps in this, allowing Gonzalez to attempt to interfere.
Yeah.
But Io Shirai managed to kick out of a just out of 2 count. Then Io Shirai would do a moonsault on both Gonzalez and Dakota Kai, which would rule out Gonzalez for the rest of the match.
Pretty much, effectively taking her out.
Because she was then able to hit Dakota Kai with another moonsault to retain the NXT Women's Championship. However, not for the first time this weekend, and we'll get to this in our next show, she did not have much of a chance to celebrate because she was instantly attacked by Gonzalez, which prompted Rhea Ripley to come out and make a save. And Rhea Ripley herself has a unfinished business with the Women's Championship, but also has business
Bit of a butt to pick with Raquel Gonzalez.
And business going on with Mercedes Martinez and that group of...
Yep, and Ali of the Robert Stone brand.
And then we go to the main event of the night.
As Keith Lee, the Limitless Champion, defended his championship against the debut of Killian Cross.
It wasn't his debut. But it was his...
No, but his debut, his second takeover.
So, here... practically as soon as the bell rang, the fight quickly went onto the outside.
And we do mean quickly.
Cross went after Lee's arm.
Straight away.
With a guardrail. And plexiglass divider.
Ow.
And they continued to wear down Keith Lee with various submission holds.
I would mean various.
Would hit a Doomsday satchel for a near fall. Keith Lee, of course, would eventually come back. And would mount some offense of his own. Lifting Cross up into some power bombs.
Powerbomb Central, here we come.
And a spirit bomb. But Cross again would come back, targeting Lee's legs and jacket that he wears sometimes.
Yes.
But then this would spell the end. It would be when Keith Lee attempted to go big. Sometimes you do not go to the top rope, Mr. Lee.
No.
Because here, Killian Cross would catch him and performed a top rope Doomsday style to pick up the victory, and Killian Cross is the NXT champion. However, two things came out of this.
One.
This has marked the final NXT match for Keith Lee, because he was announced as to appearing on Raw at SummerSlam. But also, moments after NXT Takeover went off the air, it was revealed that Killian Cross, much like Finn Balor 4 years earlier, picked up a separated shoulder injury during the match.
Thus, vacating the title on this past episode of NXT.
Yes, and general manager of NXT has set up a very interesting match for next week's special Tuesday edition of NXT on the 1st of September, in which Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, Adam Cole,
Baby.
and who was the fourth one?
Finn Balor.
And Finn Balor will all compete in a Fatal 4-Way Iron Man match. Yes, you heard me right. A Fatal 4-Way Iron Man match to decide who will become the new NXT champion. Now, this is going to be the first multi-person Iron Man match.
That we can recall.
And the first 60-minute, well, not the first Iron Man match since Bayley and Sasha, but the first 60-minute Iron Man match that I can recall since John Cena and Randy Orton, I believe.
Oh, yes.
So, let's skim through the results of NXT Takeover 30 again.
One last time.
Breezango defeated Oni Lorcan and Danny Butts and Phantasma in a triple threat tag team match to become the number one contenders for the tag team championships, and then Imperium to become champions a few days later.
Finn Balor defeated Timothy Thatcher.
Damian Priest defeated Bronson Reed, Cameron Grimes, Johnny Gargano, and the Velveteen Dream in a ladder match for the vacant North American Championship.
In the other match, Adam Cole defeated Pat McAfee.
Io Shirai defeated Dakota Kai to retain the NXT Women's Championship.
And Karrion Kross defeated Keith Lee to become the new NXT champion, only to vacate it on this last week's episode of NXT.
So that does it for NXT Takeover. The main roster would follow up 24 hours later in a very unique looking SummerSlam, which we shall present to you momentarily.
So until then, he's been
Lisa Lark Jones, and he's been
John Randy Smith, and we will see you in mere moments for the biggest party of the Corona summer.